Hello everyone, this is Kathy with Kindex, and today I want to take a few minutes and introduce you to your archive and tell you a little bit about it and how to navigate through it. So let's jump over to your archive. Now, as you can see, we've added quite a number of records. We have over 1,300 records in your archive, and that's a lot, so very good for saving all your records and getting them scanned. So what we want to do first is just give you a broad overview of what you have. So over here on the left are the different collections or folders that your archive is organized with. So as you can see, you have Mary Alice here at the top, and if you click on her name, it will filter the rest of the records out and just show the records that are associated with her, and there are quite a number. When you get to the bottom, don't forget to click Show More Records, and it will load the next batch of 100. So you can see there's quite a number. And then just working your way down, if you click on the arrow to the left, you can see that she has a lot of subfolders. So if you just wanted to focus on records, say, from the 1970s, you could click there, and you would only see records from the 70s. We also have a folder for Lynn Slade. And you can see he's got some sub-collections here, some journals, some mission papers, and some family letters. And then the rest of these, I believe Lisa has added. So let's just collapse those really quick. Okay, so you have your collections over here on the left, and then this is the main area where all your records are. And if you've noticed, I've tried where possible to name the records beginning with the date. So for example, you have 1897 to 1923. That was the date pertaining to that record. And so everything will more or less fall in chronological order. Now, of course, there are some records that don't have dates associated with them, and so those would be after all of the dated records. Okay, now if you just wanted to see records that have been indexed, and for us that means records that have had a transcription or description added to them, those are the ones with a little purple check mark here in the corner. If you just wanted to see indexed records, you would click on Indexed up here. These are all the records that have been indexed already. Nice job, family. And if you click on one of those records, you can see that it's very easy to read and searchable. And if you see a mistake or something you want to add or change, you can always just click Edit Transcription here, and that will take you to the transcription page. Let's go back to All Records. Now, for most of you, you're going to browse around and click on a record that looks interesting to you. Now, if you click on something that hasn't been indexed, you can just click on any record here. And it will open up in what we call the indexing screen. So you can just view the record if you like, but if you want to add a transcription, that's even better. And so you can see this is page 9 of a history. So you can go ahead and just type in what you see. Now, fortunately, so much of your archive is already typed, and so this makes transcription really easy because I'm going to show you a little shortcut that you can do. So if you copy this text here, and I just did Command C because I'm on a Mac, and you click Paste over in this window. Now keep in mind that you want to do paste and match style. That will bring everything in the way it should look. So click Paste, and you can see that everything's been pasted. Now, as you can see, it's not perfect. There are a couple of little words that got mixed together, or even kind of morphed into something else. And that's pretty common when you do this kind of method. But it's not too bad to just go through and kind of proofread that. Now, because I'm not finished with this, I just pasted it in, I'm not going to change it to complete. But when you have gone through and everything looks good, you can click Complete and Save, and then now every word of this document is searchable. Up here, I just want to go over, you have some indexing tools if you have a strike through, an underline, bold, italics, These are great for little marginal notes or inline notes, and I noticed that Mary Alice liked to make a lot of those as she went through her letters. So if she had a marginal note on the side, you could add that by typing in the note and then clicking there, and it will format it correctly. This is for illegible text if you have an area that you can't transcribe. And then you have some formatting tools like indents, bullets, numbering, even tables. If you have an image over here, you can add the image box and add a description. You can insert a link to an outside source, a page break, and you can even view the code if you like that sort of thing. Alright, so I'm going to hit save. Now if I was on a roll, I would go ahead and just click next and load the next record in that collection. So if you're trying to index or transcribe things consecutively, that's a quick way to do it. But I'm not going to do any more today, so I'll just go back to the main view. Alright, so we've talked about indexing, we've talked about collections. Now if you just want to come in here and search the archive, you can just come in and say, put in any word you want, and this search will include the document title, description, and transcription. And so I will just search, I'm just trying to think, not a lot has been indexed yet, but let's just do Alice and see what comes up. Alright, so you can see here that you have some results already because of the records that have already been transcribed. Notice it'll also match up with titles as well. So there's quite a lot that matches up here. But if you're searching maybe for the word doctor, you can see here these are documents that mention doctor. So it's a great way to quickly search through your records. Okay. So those are really the basics of your archive. If you want to stay with this video for a couple more minutes, you can learn a few more of the back-end or editing tools that the archive owner has. And so this mostly applies to the archive owner and its collaborators. So if you need to change the name of a collection, then you click on the little pencil that comes up when you hover over the number of records in the collection. So if I wanted to change this collection, for example, I would click here and I would just retype the name, or the new name that I wanted to put there. If I wanted to move a collection to a different place, then I would select a top-level collection to put that in and just click Update. You can also delete a collection. Just make sure that the collection doesn't have any records in it or you've moved all the records out. And I'll show you how to move a record. So if you need to, for example, I noticed that in Mary Alice's collection, under Stories and Memories, I put a lot of things in there. So look, if you have something from the 1930s and I wanted to move that to the 1920 to 1940 folder, I could click these. Let's just move these 3. You can move 3 at a time, or just however many you want. And then click on Record Info, and this will allow me to move the records to this collection. And just hit Update. Now those records are in this collection. So that's a quick way to move records. If you're not sure what collection the record is in, if you're just in this big view, you can actually just click on a record, click Record Info, and it will tell you exactly where it is. You can also add additional information like keywords, where you got the records from, the place, and all that helps us give information about the records. Okay, let's see. Lisa, it looks like you've already invited some collaborators. So as you know, to invite collaborators, you go over to Collaborate, type their email in, and hit Invite. And then just as a reminder, you can download the entire archive data as a spreadsheet. And this is helpful if you want to import this data into a book format or use it for other purposes. You can also download the entire archive, the records in the archive as a zip file. Okay. Notice also when you search, if you want to filter your searches, if I only want to search Lynn, I would select his collection there, and then whatever I put in here would only be searched in the Lynn's collection here. Well, hopefully that's helpful for you to get started in your archive. We're super excited for you. This has been a real treat to be able to create this archive. The stories that Mary Alice has written have really impressed me, and it's just been a wonderful privilege to work on this archive. So please reach out if you have any questions, and we hope that you have a great time getting to know your family a little bit better. Take care.